Somewhere deep within you, far beneath the surface of your everyday thoughts, there is a quiet command center that never sleeps. It listens to every word you whisper inside yourself, every emotion you rehearse, every image you return to again and again. It is older than your conscious fears, wiser than your passing doubts, and infinitely more powerful than any condition in your outer world. This silent intelligence is not abstract or distant. It is the living law behind your heartbeat, the rhythm behind your breath, the invisible script your cells follow, moment by moment. And tonight, as you listen, you are entering a sacred chamber of awareness where one profound truth is revealed. Your cells are faithful servants of your inner word. When you speak to them with authority, love, and conviction, they carry out your decree with complete obedience. Your body is not a random collection of tissues and organs. It is a living temple of consciousness. Each cell is like a tiny worker in an immense, luminous factory, following instructions that stream continuously from the subconscious mind. Some of these instructions were written long ago in childhood, when you did not know you were programming anything at all. Some were impressed upon you by fear, by sorrow, by the authority of other people's voices. Others were written by repetition, words you said about yourself, silently or aloud, day after day. The subconscious mind accepted them all without argument, just as fertile soil accepts every seed, whether it contains poison or nourishment, and, like fertile soil, it brought forth after its kind. This is why conditions in the body, whether harmonious or disharmonious, are not random. They are obedient expressions of patterns imprinted in the inner mind. Modern science tells us that your brain is not fixed, that its circuits are not immovable. Neuroplasticity reveals that neural pathways are continuously being carved and reinforced by what you think, feel, and imagine repeatedly. What the mystics and metaphysical teachers once called habitual thought and feeling tone can now be seen as networks of firing neurons, strengthening with use, weakening with neglect. When you hold a belief, especially an emotionally charged one, your nervous system wires itself around it. When you rehearse worry, your brain learns worry. When you rehearse peace, your brain learns peace. Yet beyond the brain, deeper than synapses and cells, there is the mysterious, organizing field in which all of this happens, the subconscious mind, the silent engine. It works tirelessly, shaping your body, your behavior, and your circumstances according to the blueprint impressed upon it. Every emotional experience you have leaves a trace in this inner blueprint. Fear, resentment, guilt, shame, chronic sadness, these are not just fleeting moods. They are patterns of energy and suggestion impressed upon the subconscious, creating what you might call emotional circuitry. Over time, this circuitry becomes an internal climate. It influences hormones, immune function, muscle tension, and the subtle electromagnetic signature your body radiates. Speak them inwardly now and then again tonight before sleep and tomorrow upon waking, and whenever you remember. Each repetition is a stroke of the sculptor's hand upon the inner statue of your life. You do not need to strive or struggle. The law works in silence. Seeds sprout in darkness. Cells regenerate without fanfare. Neural pathways rewire quietly. The subconscious mind performs its miracles beneath the surface. Your role is to consistently provide it with the right pattern through your thoughts, feelings, and images, and to rest in the knowing that it is done. As this journey of understanding comes to a gentle close for now, feel again the life moving in you. Feel the warmth in your hands, the rhythm in your chest, the subtle sensations of aliveness throughout your being. This is the field in which your decrees take effect. This is the temple in which divine intelligence lives. Speak with kindness to this temple, honor it, bless it, and remember with calm certainty that transformation begins not with force, but with a shift in consciousness and thought. From this moment forward, you walk through life with a deeper awareness of your inner power. You know that your cells are faithful servants. You know that your subconscious mind is always listening. You know that prayer in its highest form is scientific mental conditioning, a loving collaboration with the law of your own being. You know that imagination creates, belief directs, and feeling sustains. You know that your inner world is the source of your outer world, and you know, perhaps more clearly than ever before, that the creative power has always been within you, waiting for your conscious cooperation. Rest in this knowing. Let it guide your thoughts, your words, and your inner speech. Speak to yourselves as to faithful servants, and they will carry out the healing decree. Trust the silent, infinite in T. Elegance within, and it will do for you what no outer force can do. In this quiet confidence, your transformation unfolds, naturally, inevitably, beautifully. When this climate is dominated by stress, your cells receive a constant message. We are under threat. We are unsafe. We must tighten, contract, prepare for danger. And the faithful cells obey. Their chemistry shifts. Their behavior changes. Healing pathways slow down. Inflammation rises. Digestion misfires. Sleep is disturbed. The body is only reflecting the decree given by the inner voice. Yet there is a higher law, a more beautiful possibility. Just as thought and feeling can create stress and limitation, they can also create harmony and renewal. The subconscious is not for or against you. It simply carries out the pattern you lay upon it. It responds to the emotional intensity of your inner word. When you begin to speak with authority to your own cells, when you address your body as a beloved servant of your spirit, and when you impress upon it the decree of health, peace, and divine order, the subconscious reorganizes the entire system. Neural pathways begin to rewire, hormones shift toward balance, immune function strengthens, and your cells receive a new command. We are safe, we are loved, we are guided by divine intelligence toward wholeness, and again the faithful cells obey. Consider for a moment that every cell in your body is listening. The cells of your heart are listening. The cells of your lungs are listening. The cells in your blood and bones are listening. They respond not just to chemicals and nutrients, but to subtle signals from your subconscious mind. This mind communicates through emotional states, repetitive thoughts, and vivid images. When you silently call yourself weak, your cells do not argue. When you habitually say, "I am tired, I am sick, nothing ever works out for me," your subconscious accepts these as instructions, and your internal chemistry attempts to match them. The law is simple. What you deeply believe and feel to be true tends to become embodied. Belief is the law of life. It is the command that the subconscious receives. Imagine, for a moment, not as a fantasy, but as a quiet recognition, that there is an inner doctor within you, infinitely wise, unfailingly loving, and always available. This inner doctor is the expression of divine intelligence, the universal mind operating within your own consciousness. It is the same intelligence that heals a cut on your skin without your conscious instruction, that regulates your heartbeat without your effort, that grows a baby in the womb without the mother having to understand cellular biology. This inner doctor lives in the subconscious mind, directing every healing process, every repair, every renewal. When you speak to your cells as faithful servants of this inner doctor, you are aligning your conscious thoughts with the infinite wisdom already at work in you. There was once a woman, let us call her Elena, who had lived for years with chronic pain. She had been told by many experts that her condition was manageable but incurable. She believed them, and the belief sank deep into her subconscious. Each day she spoke words of defeat to herself. "My body is broken. This will never change." Her cells obeyed that decree. The pain persisted, and the nervous system became more and more sensitized. One evening, however, in a moment of quiet despair, she heard a different message, not from the outer world, but from within. It was a gentle thought. What if my body is not my enemy? What if it is listening to me? What if it is waiting for a new command? That night marked the beginning of a profound inner experiment. Instead of cursing her body, she began to bless it. Each night before sleep, Elena placed her hands lightly over the area of greatest pain and spoke inwardly, "You are my faithful servant. You are responding now to the divine blueprint of perfect health. Every cell is aligned with harmony, balance, and peace. The inner doctor is restoring you. You are cooperating with the healing law." She went on repeating these words with feeling, not forcing but gently accepting them as true. At first nothing obvious happened, but night after night as she drifted into sleep she continued this dialogue, understanding that the subconscious mind is most receptive in those drowsy moments between waking and sleep. Over weeks and months her nervous system calmed, the pain gradually softened, and her mobility increased. Medical tests began to show changes her doctors had not expected. The healing was not magic, it was law. She had changed the decree, and the faithful servants responded. You, too, carry within you this power. The sleeping method, the practice of nighttime programming of the subconscious, is one of the most potent ways to speak to your cells and rewrite the inner script. Just before sleep, when the conscious mind grows quiet and the gate to the subconscious is open, you become the author of the next chapter of your body's story. In that gentle borderland between day and night, your inner words move like seeds into the fertile soil of the deeper mind. Whatever is impressed at this time tends to take root, especially if it is accompanied by calm emotion and quiet certainty. So tonight, as you lie in bed and feel the weight of your body supported, you may close your eyes and allow your breath to slow. In that soft darkness behind your eyelids, you become aware of the life within you. You remember that your heart continues to beat, your lungs continue to fill and empty, and your cells continue to perform millions of tasks, all without your conscious supervision. And in that awareness, you choose a new relationship with your body. Silently, you speak. Beloved cells, you are faithful servants of the divine intelligence within me. You respond perfectly now to the decree of health, harmony, and peace. Every impulse from my subconscious is aligned with healing. You are renewing, restoring, and balancing me now. You do not strain. You do not plead. You simply state with quiet authority what you accept as already true in the invisible realm. This is scientific prayer, not in the sense of laboratory instruments, but in the sense of inner law. Scientific prayer is the method of using affirmative commands to condition the mind and thus reconfigure one's experience. It is scientific because it works through repeatable, dependable principles. What you impress upon the subconscious with feeling and belief tends to express in the body and in your affairs. You are not begging a distant power to intervene. You are aligning your conscious word with the law of your own being. When you say, "My body is now a perfect instrument of divine life," and you feel the emotion of peace as though it were already so, you are issuing a blueprint to the mental factory within. Your cells receive that blueprint as a set of construction plans. They begin to reorganize accordingly. Modern neuroscience provides a language to describe this process. When you hold a new belief and repeatedly affirm it with emotion, your brain rewires itself. Neurons that fire together wire together. New networks are formed that correspond to the new pattern. If that belief is "I am safe," then the alarm systems in your brain gradually quiet. If the belief is "I am resilient and healing," then the circuits related to stress begin to relax, and circuits related to calm and repair become more active. Meanwhile, your autonomic nervous system shifts out of chronic fight or flight and into rest and digest, a state in which healing is naturally facilitated. The subconscious mind, always listening, updates its internal instruction to your cells. The emergency is over. Peace has been declared. Proceed with regeneration. Imagination is the blueprint of creation. When you visualize your body as whole, vibrant, and strong, you are not merely fantasizing. You are drafting a pattern in the inner workshop. The subconscious does not distinguish between a vividly imagined event and a physically experienced one. To your deeper mind, what you picture with conviction, especially in a relaxed state, is a real template. If you consistently imagine yourself sick, weak, or doomed, you are drafting. G plans for more of the same. But if you instead create mental images of vitality, light, and order, you are handing your subconscious an entirely new design. You might, for instance, sit quietly and picture your body bathed in a soft, radiant light. In your mind's eye, you see each cell as a tiny, luminous worker joyfully carrying out its task under the guidance of divine intelligence. You picture your blood flowing freely, your organs functioning perfectly, your nervous system calm and balanced. You see yourself moving with ease, breathing comfortably, smiling with genuine peace. As you hold this image gently, you speak inwardly. This is the true blueprint of my being. My subconscious mind accepts this now. Every cell conforms to this divine pattern. It is done. You are not forcing the image. You are resting in it, as one rests in a beautiful memory. In that resting, the blueprint is impressed. Emotional alchemy is the art of transforming negative emotional states into higher, harmonious ones. It is not denial, nor is it repression. It is the understanding that emotion is raw energy, and that this energy can be guided, refined, and elevated. Fear, anger, sadness, all of these can be transmuted when brought into the light of awareness and offered a higher meaning. The subconscious mind is deeply affected by your emotional tone. It responds more readily to feeling than to words alone. Therefore, when you flood your inner atmosphere with gratitude, peace, and love, you are bathing your subconscious in the very qualities you wish it to express. Imagine a man who carries deep resentment toward his body because it does not perform as he wishes. He calls it names. He feels betrayed by it. He repeatedly says, "My body is useless. It never cooperates." The emotional charge of these statements imprints his subconscious, and his cells obey by becoming more tense, more disorganized, more distressed. But one day he recognizes the futility of this inner war. He realizes he has been issuing commands of hostility to faithful servants who were only obeying his orders. In a moment of humility, he sits quietly and says to his body, "Forgive me. I have spoken to you harshly. From this moment on, I treat you as a loyal friend. You have carried me through so much. I now speak to you with kindness. Thank you for all you do for me. I bless you with peace and strength." As he repeats these words with sincerity, he feels a softening, perhaps a surge of emotion, even tears. This is emotional alchemy at work. By changing his feeling tone, he is changing the message sent to his cells. The law of substitution is an essential tool in this work. The mind cannot hold two opposite thoughts with equal intensity at the same time. When a negative thought arises, "I am doomed, nothing will change, my body is my enemy," you do not fight it or wrestle it to the ground. Instead, you gently but firmly substitute a chosen thought in its place. You might choose, "I am guided by divine wisdom," or "Every day, in every way, my body is responding to a higher pattern of health," or "I am safe, I am loved, I am healing." At first, the old thought may return frequently. The "at" is natural. It has been rehearsed many times. But each time it appears, you apply the law of substitution. You acknowledge it and then gently replace it. Over time, the new thought becomes the dominant pattern. This is not a mechanical recitation. It is a practice of inner alignment. Each time you choose the new thought, you are choosing a different future. You are firing different neurons, creating different emotional chemistry, and giving different instructions to your cells. When the thought, "I am safe and healing," is accepted by your subconscious, your entire organism begins to reflect that safety. Muscles release tension, digestion improves, sleep becomes deeper, and the immune system functions more efficiently. Again, the faithful servants obey the decree. Secrecy and silence play a subtle but powerful role in this process. When you are impressing a new pattern on your subconscious, there is great value in keeping your inner work sacred and private. Not because you are hiding something shameful, but because you are protecting a tender seed. If you talk excessively about your inner work, especially to those who are skeptical or negative, you expose your new pattern to conflicting suggestions. Their doubt, their cynicism, their fear can enter your own mind, diluting your conviction. The subconscious responds to conviction. When your belief is quiet, unwavering, and held in the secret place of your own heart, its power is amplified. Think of desire as a seed planted in the inner garden. In the early stages, you do not dig it up every few hours to see if it is growing. You do not carry it around to show everyone. You leave it beneath the soil, trusting the invisible processes at work. You water it with your attention, warmth, and faith. You protect it from harsh winds of criticism and the scorching sun of fear. In time, it breaks through the surface and becomes visible in your body and your life. So it is with your healing decrees. Speak them inwardly, often, with quiet certainty. Let them take root in silence. Understand that the subconscious mind is always listening. It does not switch off when you are joking about yourself, nor does it sleep when you speak carelessly out of habit. It is processing every emotional impression you dwell upon. If you habitually say, "I am so stupid, I always get sick, my body never cooperates," your subconscious takes these as commands. If you habitually entertain images of failure and decline, your inner factory receives these as blueprints. The law is impartial. It will build whatever you hold steadily in mind. This is why it is so important to become watchful of your inner speech. Each phrase you repeat is like an order sent to your cells. You need not be frightened by this, because fear itself is just another pattern. Instead, see it as a call to gentle responsibility. You can begin to speak a different language within yourself. When you notice a harsh phrase rising, you pause and choose a kinder one. When you catch yourself predicting disaster, you stop and choose a vision of peace. Over time, this new language becomes natural. Your subconscious begins to trust it. Your cells begin to mirror it. And your body becomes less a battleground and more a harmonious instrument of your spirit. All of this happens within what some call the quantum field, the invisible ocean of energy and information in which your body, mind, and environment interact. Your thoughts, especially those charged with emotion, create an electromagnetic signature, a vibrational frequency that radiates from you and interacts with this field. When your dominant inner state is fear, your signature is chaotic, incoherent. Your cells receive mixed signals, but when your dominant state is gratitude, peace, and trust in divine intelligence, your signature becomes coherent. Your heart rhythm smooths into patterns of harmony. Your brain waves quiet. Your entire being broadcasts a message of order. In such a field, healing processes are naturally supported. The subconscious mind is not limited to the confines of your skull. It is connected to a greater intelligence, a universal mind that knows how to create galaxies, grow forests, and orchestrate the dance of life in every ecosystem. This same intelligence moves through your nervous system, circulatory system, immune system, and every layer of your being. When you pray scientifically, when you affirm with feeling that this divine intelligence is now directing your cells, balancing your chemistry, guiding your choices, you are not convincing a reluctant power. You are aligning yourself with what has always been true, that you are a living expression of universal intelligence. As you deepen into this realization, you begin to relate to your body differently. You no longer see it as a fragile machine doomed to decay, but as a dynamic manifestation of consciousness. You understand that its conditions are not fixed but responsive. You realize that your stress, your limitations, and your suffering are not punishments from an external source, but reflections of internal patterns that can be rewritten. This realization is not meant to blame you. It is meant to free you. If the inner patterns can create suffering, they can also create healing. Let us now turn inward together in a more focused way. Gently allow your shoulders to drop, your jaw to unclench. Feel the subtle movements of your breath. Become aware of your heart beating. Without trying to change anything, simply notice the life that is already present in you. This life has carried you through every moment of your existence. It has healed every wound, recovered from every illness, adapted to every challenge. This life is the presence of divine intelligence in you. Speak to it now silently. You know exactly what to do. You are guiding every cell, every organ, every system toward perfect order. I trust you. Now, in the quiet of your own being, address your cells directly. You might say inwardly, "Beloved cells, you are now aligned with the perfect pattern of divine health. You are intelligent, responsive, and cooperative. You release all residues of fear and trauma. You remember your original blueprint of wholeness. You follow the decree of peace. You regenerate and renew according to the law of life. As you say these words, imagine them as gentle waves of light flowing through your body, touching every part of you. You do not need to know exactly how each cell will respond. You simply trust that they do respond. If there is a particular area of your body that needs healing, place your attention there. Without tension, simply rest your awareness on that area. Imagine it bathed in a warm golden light. This light is the symbol of divine intelligence, the inner doctor. It is examining, understanding, and adjusting everything that needs to be adjusted. As you hold this image, say inwardly, you are now fully receptive to the healing law. You are relaxing, opening, and allowing in the perfect solution. All discordant patterns are dissolved in this light. Only harmony remains. Feel the emotion of relief as though the healing were already accomplished. That feeling is the signal your subconscious understands best. There may be moments when doubt arises. The conscious mind may protest, "This is too simple. How can mere thoughts change my cells?" When this happens, do not argue with the doubt. Instead, apply the law of substitution. Acknowledge the voice and then gently choose a higher thought. I may not understand the details, but I know that countless people have healed through the power of belief and inner change. I know that my body already responds to stress and peace. Therefore, it is not strange to believe it responds to my inner word. I now choose to trust the law, even if I do not yet see all the evidence. In doing this, you are choosing faith over fear, and faith is the substance that impresses the subconscious. You can make the sleeping method a nightly ritual. Before closing your eyes, withdraw your attention from the outer world. Turn off the screens, the noise, the rush. Sit or lie in stillness for a few minutes. Then, in a soft voice or silently, declare the reality you wish to embody. For example, tonight, as I sleep, my subconscious mind lovingly guides my cells into perfect harmony. I give thanks that every system in my body is now functioning according to divine order. I rest in the assurance that the inner doctor is at work. I wake renewed, refreshed, and restored. Say this not as a future hope, but as an already established fact. Feel the comfort of that assumption, then fall asleep in that feeling as though you were sinking into a warm, safe ocean of love. Over time, this nightly practice builds a new inner climate. Your subconscious becomes accustomed to receiving messages of trust and health before sleep. Instead of going to bed rehearsing worries, you go to bed rehearsing peace. The result is a different internal chemistry throughout the night. Your nervous system spends more time in restorative states, your hormones balance more effectively, and your cells carry out their nighttime repair functions under the influence of a harmonious decree. You do not force this. You cooperate with it. As you walk through your days, you can cultivate an ongoing dialogue with your Odi. When you feel tension, you can quietly say, "Relax, beloved body, you are safe. We are guided." When fatigue arises, you can say, "Thank you, body, for all you do. You are replenishing now. Energy flows through you from the infinite source." When fear appears, you can place a hand over your heart and affirm, "I am one with divine intelligence. I am supported. I am protected. I am at peace." With repetition, these inner statements become your default language. Your subconscious hears them, accepts them, and commands your cells accordingly. In the larger picture, your body is only one arena in which the law operates. The same principles govern your relationships, your work, your finances, and your life circumstances. The inner world creates the outer world. The beliefs you hold about yourself and about life act as filters through which you perceive opportunities, interpret events, and choose actions. If you believe you are unworthy, you will unconsciously sabotage good things that come your way. If you believe the world is hostile, you will constantly scan for threats and overlook kindness. If you believe you are supported by a loving universe, you will notice helpful people, synchronicities, and open doors where others see only obstacles. This is not about pretending that challenges do not exist. It is about recognizing that your interpretation of those challenges is profoundly influenced by your inner blueprint. When you change that blueprint through scientific prayer, visualization, emotional alchemy, and the law of substitution, your outer experience naturally shifts. New ideas come to you, new people enter your life, old patterns lose their grip. It may look like coincidence, but it is the logic of the subconscious at work, arranging circumstances to match your inner state. Divine intelligence flows through all human beings, whether they are aware of it or not. In some, it flows as genius, creativity, compassion, or courage. In others, it seems blocked by fear, resentment, or ignorance. Yet the source is the same. When you clear away the dense clouds of limiting belief, the light of this intelligence shines through more easily. You begin to receive intuitions, guidance, and inspired ideas. You feel nudged to rest when needed, to move when movement is required, to seek help when help is wise. Healing becomes a cooperative dance between your conscious mind, your subconscious, and the infinite intelligence that animates all. By now, you may sense that this journey is not just about the body, but about your entire identity. You are moving from seeing yourself as a victim of random forces to recognizing yourself as a co-creator with the universal mind. You are moving from stress to inner peace, from lack to abundance, from fear to divine cooperation. You are discovering that the power that shapes your experience is not out there, but within your own consciousness. The subconscious mind, once an invisible background, is now recognized as the core creative power of your human experience. As this realization deepens, a gentle sovereignty emerges. You no longer feel helpless in the face of conditions, as you understand that conditions are the result of causes, and that the deepest causes lie in thought, belief, and feeling. You reclaim the authority to choose those causes. You become the one who speaks to the cells, not the one who is at their mercy. You become the one who decrees peace, not the one who is dragged along by chaos. You become the one who plants seeds of health, harmony, and abundance in the inner garden, trusting that they will bear fruit in due season. In the quiet of this moment, allow this truth to settle. You are not separate from the intelligence that heals, guides, and sustains all life. It moves through you now as your very breath, as your very awareness. Your subconscious mind, open and receptive, is listening. It is ready to carry out the decree you choose. Your cells, faithful and obedient, are responding even now to the emotional tone of your inner word. So choose, with calm certainty, the decree you wish to give. It may be simple, like, every cell in my body is aligned with divine order and perfect health, or my mind is at peace, my heart is open, my body is healing, or I am one with the infinite intelligence that renews, restores, and regenerates me now. Whatever words you choose, let them be rooted in a feeling of quiet assurance.